Wow, I'm finally doing it. I've been wanting to make a book haul for the longest time, and here I am. Well, first things first, some of the books that I like to read are young adult, contemporary, thriller. I don't really have a wide range of books that I read, genres, but I'm trying to open my horizon more to more thriller and murder cases kind of vibes. I have read one murder case, but it's not as big. It's more for I read it a long time ago when I was in the 5th grade. Also, I'm into romances. Romances are pretty legitly cool. These are mainly teen books, young adult books, because I'm a teen. Anyway, some of the authors I have here are John Green. I was gonna say John Legend, like he's ever gonna write a book. Anyway, John Green, S.E. Hinton, Gina Showalter, Stephanie Garber, Sheila Turnage, I believe. These books aren't even mine, that's why I don't know. Robin Rowe, Rainbow Rowell. It's probably not how I pronounce it, but let's get into it. I'm super excited. Okay, I totally did not just scream. So the first book I'm introducing to you is the book that I read in the 5th grade, or I got in the 5th grade. And it's 3 Times Lucky by Sheila Turnage. I was gonna say Gina Showalter. Anyway, 3 Times Lucky by Sheila Turnage, and it's really about, the words are pretty big, you know, so it's not that long. Don't get scared. I'm a sucker for really big books, by the way. I love big books. Mostly trilogies that are big books, that's what I'm trying to say. But this has a Newbery Honor Book Seal, so it's a really good book, like I said. And it's about how this girl named Mo, she's in the 5th grade, I believe, or going to 6th grade. Her mom didn't abandon her, but she got lost in a hurricane. She's trying to find her mom, basically, and she doesn't know if her mom is alive or not. So she sends out these bottles out in the water. Maybe her mom can find her through the water, because that's how she got lost. It's also about how she's trying to solve a murder case at the same time while trying to find her mom, so there's a lot going on, but it doesn't get confusing because it's just really step by step. And I really like this book. I think I might have given 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. Yes, I do use Goodreads, and I'm only 17 years old. Next book I'm super excited to talk about. It's probably one of my all-time favorites, and I know I'm saying that a little bit too early because I'm only 17, but I swear it's one of my all-time favorites because I really didn't know what it was going to be about. I knew it was going to be about these 2 guys with the same name, but oh geez, it was very spectacular. And the book is Will Grayson by John Green. I could read this book again. I don't really like rereading books, but this book I could do that with. It's not only by John Green, it's also by David Levithan. I knew he wrote it. I don't know, I was just so caught up with John Green because I have other books of his right here with me. I knew there were also 2 writers, but I didn't know the writing style was going to be like this. That's why it's probably one of my all-time favorites. It's just really, really amazing. So I suggest if you're going to read this, and if you haven't read it, try not to know anything more about it than the synopsis, and that there's 2 authors. Yeah, you can look around it, but I suggest you go in with no further ado. The next book is a classic, all my team should know it. It's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I previously just finished this, and then I went to Walmart and I saw the movie for only $5. That's a steal. A steal. So I got the movie, and it was Blu-ray too. So I got the movie and I watched it, and it was amazing. I'm pretty sure I gave this a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, and I suggest you pick it up, take the time to read it, because it is interesting and it is cool, and it could be life-changing, I've heard. This next set of book is a trilogy, and it's so unexpected because it's one of the first young adult books I've read, and I did not realize that I was going to like the subject of the afterlife and just all these different things, but it was cool. And I used to say it was my favorite series, but I'm currently reading another trilogy, and I love that one so much, so I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. The first book is First Life by Gina Showalter. It's an Everlife series, and this is the first book to the trilogy. Like I said, I'm a sucker for thick books. Second book to the Everlife series is A Lifeblood by Gina Showalter, in case you didn't know. Last but not least is Everlife. This is a beauty. Do you see how thick this is? And the spines are so cool, they all match. I suggest you pick it up. At least pick up the first book. What I like to do is when I pick up the first book and I end up liking it, I get the rest of the books because I know I'm gonna have to like it, you know? I think I gave all of these 5 out of 5 on Goodreads because they're so amazing. I realized I didn't say what they were about, but yes, they are about the afterlife. Actually, mainly about the afterlife because so there's two sides. There's called the Mayrad side, the Troika side. Mayrad is bad, Troika is good. See, this is Mayrad, that's Troika. I've been pronouncing it like that since 2015, so we follow our main character named Tenley Lockwood. She goes by Ten. People want her to sign with Mayrad, and she knows, or at least she thinks she's gonna sign with Mayrad, but then all these crazy events happen that lead her to sign to the unexpected sign. I don't want to go too much in depth because I don't want to ruin it, even though you probably might not even read it, or maybe you will. I just don't want to ruin it for you guys. Pick it up yourself, just kidding. These two next books my dad got me, no, they are not young adult, fiction, they're basically investment kind of books. How to save money and things. Rich Dad Poor Dad, that sounds very popular. I will teach you to be rich. Gotta start them young. I have not started any of these, but I will eventually because I gotta learn, right? Gotta learn. The next book we have is Never Always Sometimes by Adi Alsaid. This book is very cool, very interesting, especially if you're in high school. It does take place in high school, and it follows these two characters named Julie and David. Why can't I remember? Dave and Julia are our characters, and it is a POV kind of book, writing style, if you say. It follows Dave and Julia throughout high school and how it's basically about how they never wanted to fit into cliche things, but on their senior year they decide to do it because they have nothing to lose. So they made this list freshman year of things they're never gonna do in their high school careers. But now it's in senior year and they have nothing to lose. They find the list actually and they decide to do it. And it's just robust. It's just robust from there. So I'm looking at the books that I have left for this haul, and I lied when I said I had more John Green books in this haul. I do have more John Green books, but not for this haul because I want to separate it, you know. But the next two books aren't mine. I got my sister to buy them. I am going to read them though. The first one is A List of Cages by Robin Redwood. And this book, let me read the synopsis. When Adam Blake lands with the best elect in the school year, just kidding. But it's basically a kid who has ADHD and has a lot of problems, and he's in a foster house, or he was in a foster house. These two boys were in a foster house. They eventually separate because something happens along the way. But in high school, the senior year, they meet up again and they catch up, and one of the guys has been mysterious, and the other friend wants to know what's going on with him, so he tries to find out with that. It just seems like it's going to be a really cool story, which seems very touching as well. The next book we have is Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. I've always saw this book when I went to Barnes & Nobles, but for some reason never picked it up. Maybe I read the synopsis, but never purchased it. Maybe I was into romance back then. But yes, this is a romance book with the girl Eleanor. She moves into Park's hometown. They meet on a bus, and it just escalates from there. They're falling for each other, kind of love story. Seems very interesting and very fun. Now, the last 3 books on my very first book haul. These are so amazing. I am so in love with these books. I have to say the writing style is perfect. The first book of the trilogy series, and the trilogy series is called Carval, and so is the first book, Carval, by Stephanie Garber. It's just so amazing. Definitely gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, definitely. We follow our two main characters, Scarlett and Donatella, but Tella for short, and they're sisters, and they've always dreamed of going to Carnival. Carnival is basically a game, but you don't know if it's real or not. Some parts may seem real, but they're really not. That's what makes it fun, you know, that's what makes it mysterious, because you don't know it's real or it's not in the game, right? They've always wanted to go, but then once they grew older, they kind of just But they've been in contact with someone and they get tickets to go to play Carnival. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to say anymore. The second book is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. And the last book of the series is Finale. I'm currently reading it. I'm not done yet and I am obsessed with how thick it is and how big the symbols it has on the actual book. It's just so amazing. Even the covers are so nice. Everything about this whole trilogy is so amazing, you know? So that's why I'm saying I don't know if Everlife is my favorite trilogy anymore, because I'm not done with this one. But I am done with these two, and they're just so amazing. I really can't compare them to each other because they're both equally just as good. I'm gonna have to say this quickly because my memory card is full, but thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my very first book haul, and I am going to do more because I really like reading, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make more videos about reading. And comment down below if you want any suggestions, or you suggest me to do anything differently or better, because I know this is my first one, so I didn't really know what to do or say, besides what I wanted to say about the books and how to describe them, but yeah.